Hey guys and gals, this is Sonic Arrow with the T-34-85 Tier 6 Russian medium tank, and this is along the original Russian medium line, and the A43 is along the newer one. I have that one as well. Here it is, A43, and I'll be taking a look at this thing in comparison to the T-34-85 when I play some more games in it. But for now, the T-34-85, 720 hit points, 34.1 tons with my current equipment, 600 horsepower engine with a top speed of 54 kilometers per hour. It gives it a 17.6 horsepower per ton ratio, and that's pretty decent for a medium tank. Now, for the hull armor, it's 45 on the front, 45 on the side, and 40 on the back, exactly the same as the T-34. If you take a look at the name, T-34-85, it suggests that it's a T-34 with an 85mm cannon on it, and that's exactly what it is. It's got a beefed up turret to hold the 85mm cannon, 90mm on the front, 75 on the side, 52 on the back, and of course the 85mm cannon sticking right there. 38 degrees per second hull traverse and 46 degrees per second of turret traverse are pretty good. View range of 360 meters, it's pretty typical for tier 6 mediums. Signal range 525 meters, not that great, but I am used to the German radio ranges of 700 plus. Starting at pretty low tiers, in fact. Let's take a look at the cannon. 85mm, 10 round per minute rate of fire, 144mm of penetration, 180mm of average damage, 0.37 accuracy with a 2.3 second aiming time, and that is really good. I like it. It feels good on this tank. Not sure how it will feel on T-43 with the same exact cannon, but we'll see how that goes. I've mounted a medium caliber tank gun rammer, vents, and a camouflage net. Not sure if I ever use a camouflage net. Sometimes I'll swap that out for binoculars if I want to do some scouting, but that's really it. 2.3 seconds isn't exactly a long aiming time, and I don't really think a gunling drive would benefit on the T-34-85, as medium tanks usually move around, and that's what Russian medium tanks specialize in anyway, so as far as I can see. Ammunition loadout, 38mm of armor-piercing rounds, 7 APCR and 3 HE. At 144mm of penetration, it doesn't feel like you need too many premium rounds, and that is a good thing. So we'll take a look at the research tree. You start off with a 76mm cannon, and the 85 you do not get unless you're already higher in the line, so it's kind of pointless. So really, you start off with 76 with 125mm penetration, which is kind of crappy, but 15 rounds per minute rate of fire is pretty good. So you'll have to start shooting into the sides a lot more often. The engine, however, you start off with is only 500 horsepower, and the extra boost from the 600 is very noticeable. Also, less chance of catching on fire, which is nice. The most interesting thing, or really I guess it's a tip, the tracks, they only add 2 degrees per second of hull traverse, only 0.3 tons to the load limit, so you can actually fit most of these things. In fact, I think you can fit all of these things on without upgrading the tracks first. So you might want to stick with the 76mm until you can get to the 85mm right here at the top, but you'll need how much is this? 4,800 and 7,220 before you can even start thinking about the 15,500 experience needed to unlock this 85. I don't think you get this from anything else. Oh yes, you do. You get it from the IS and the KV-13. So if you already went through the Russian heavy line, then you might already have the 85mm cannon. This 122 I unlocked before. Okay, you can unlock it on the KV-1. So if you don't like not being able to penetrate any tanks that you meet, you might want to think about switching to the 122mm U11. Fires HE, really a slow rate of fire, terrible accuracy and aim time. But you might be able to do some damage if that's your style. I stuck with the 76 until I unlocked the 85, and it's been pretty good to me. Right, crew, well, I don't really have 100% crew, so everything is in repairs right now, and that's something that I feel a medium tank should use. You don't want to get tracked out in the open too often, and the faster you get tracks back on, the better. Let's take a look at a couple of replays. Here we are on Siegfried line. I am platooned with Nightmare Abyss and Ghost Sniper 9. Nightmare is in the Panzer IV, and Goose Sniper 9 is in the FV-304 artillery. So I'm gonna head into town and see what I can do. This is the usual route I take. It doesn't really matter if I'm in a heavy tank or a medium tank. I usually like going into town and not get hit by all those tank destroyers that I see on the enemy team. As you can see, the mobility of the T-34-85 is pretty good, and I'm heading in towards an open gap where the team is. Let's see what I can shoot at. Nothing really at this point. I was expecting at least one enemy to be around here, which is why my gun was pointing in that direction, but nothing. We have a T1 heavy tank right there, heavily damaged, and hiding behind the wall. SU-100Y just fired. I know those things take quite a long time to reload. Pull back, and let my teammates fire, which I didn't even know were there. I wasn't really paying attention, but it was a good thing I pulled back. Second shot I fired, missed. This hetzer decided to try and push me a little bit, probably thinking I would just head out into the open. Okay, ST-100Y has retreated quite a bit. And there's a KV-1S coming up. Looks like the 122 did only 182 damage to me. But he did kill my radio operator. And that was me. Well, at this point I was thinking KV-1S must have switched to HE to fire on some weaker target and just let that shot loose because I was right in front of him. Let's get rid of this T-34-85. I'm not gonna head out over there because I do know there are at least 2 tank destroyers and a whole bunch of other tanks there that could be sniping me from the field. So don't want to let them have that opportunity. And here's the KV-1S. Gets taken down pretty quickly. So there's the Nashorn. Looks like he's looking in our direction. Was not firing at me, however. Panzer IV on the enemy team. That was a lucky shot there. And Ghost Sniper 9 used me as shield of sorts, which is nice. But right now I'm gonna get out of the way, just in case that artillery does not shoot in the arc that I was expecting it to. Looks like a Type 58 has made it through to our side of the map, and all we have is a VK. I'm alerting our team to the Type 58's presence. Only 49 health, but I'm not sure if the VK was AFK or not. Doesn't look like it, which is a good thing. But really, you should just head back to base if there's any sliver of doubt that your teammates are not capable of handling it properly. And just like that, the enemy team is down to just 3 tanks alive. An A-43, T-28, and a KV-220. All of which are not very armored. I am capable of penetrating all of those tanks. There's A-43, looks like it was tracked. And is down. KV-220 is still there. Oh. I was gonna back off and look for that T-28, but that's okay. And I'm aiming at that mid plate on the KV-220 right there. It was kind of a chancy shot. It could have bounced off of the weird angles on the KV-220, but it went in, so there it is. And there's the T-28. Completely AFK, it looks like. Must have left the game. Or not loaded in. No, I should have loaded in by now. 957 points of experience earned in this game. I did take a lot of one-shots on the enemy. 1,742 damage done to the enemy team. 16 shots fired, 13 hit, 11 penetrated. And I only received 2 shots, and both were penetrations. 32,679 credits earned on a premium account. Non-premium, 19,859. Also did 922 spotting damage, which is quite nice. And let's move on to the next replay with higher tier tanks. This is Severogorsk, and I am platooned up with Spartan Crusader and Nightmare Abyss. Spartan Crusader is in the T-34-85, and Nightmare Abyss is in the Panzer IV. So I'm heading to the east side. Looks like we're really light on that side, but it always looks like that on this map, as everybody spawns on the opposite direction. There are 2 tier 8 tanks on both teams. We have a Super Pershing and a Jagdtiger 88. So both slow tanks. Doesn't look like that's too good looking for us. And the enemy team has a Super Pershing and a T-34-2. Just gonna knock down this supply cache, or shed, or whatever it is. And I'm gonna try and take a position up on the hill. Not ideal for a bottom tier medium tank, but we have to do what we can. And wait for our backup in the Super Pershing, who's gonna arrive slowly. Nothing there I can shoot at. Ah, that is not good. A T-29. Just gonna back off there. T-29 has a really good turret, especially when a tier 6 medium tank is trying to fire upon it. And there's a T-20, which I managed to bounce on as well. And Nightmare Abyss just got taken down by an Su-122-44, who I assume rolled extremely high. No, wait a minute. Yeah, Panzer IV should have more health than that, so it must have been hit twice. Really nothing much we can do at this point, except wait for them to come down. Oh, get out of the way. There's the T-29, managed to get the soft underside of that tank. Let's see if we need to get another shot in. And no, IS-2 takes down Spartan Crusader. That's not so good. IS-2... what was it, IS-2? Okay. So we're really surrounded at this point. Or I'm really surrounded. What do we have left? There's a T-20 and a Super Pershing, and we're just stuck in this little hole over here. There's an IS. Doesn't seem to think I'm much of a threat, and that's probably the only reason I'm still alive. So the T-29 did fire, and okay, gets taken down. Enemy T-20 just taking shots of opportunity at this point and trying to avoid taking fire. IS-2 reversed just in time for me to miss. And I managed to bounce a shot, which is actually quite often on this tank. You get pretty surprising bounces on the turret of this thing, especially with its shape, I believe. And, well, really, you can't do too much in these high-tier battles. But you try your best and get damage done. The only thing about these high-tier battles is they don't always shoot at you. Like this team right here, they did not shoot at me for a really long time. And I just managed to get my damage done. And there it is, T-35/2. Took out my gunner. Looks like this T-20 is having a little bit of trouble. A lot of trouble. Going to take out the enemy tier 8 tank and then promptly get taken out by his teammates. We did manage to give our teammates some pretty good spotting, so we actually got a victory out of this one. 1,045 points of experience earned for myself. 1 kill only with 1,559 damage done to the enemy. 12 shots fired, 11 hit, 9 bounces. Sorry, not 9 bounces. That would be terrible. 9 penetrations. I only got hit 4 times, bounced 1 shot, and then got killed with the other 3. Did 1,238 points of spotting damage, which was quite nice. Credits earned 179,593 on a premium account, 116,289 on a non-premium account. That is due to an event. I'm not sure which one it was, but I don't think I would have gotten more than 100,000 credits for my performance in that match. Thanks for watching. Please press that like button and leave some comments. I'll see you in future videos.